Satoshi Nakamoto, seemingly back in 2010, a supporter, at least it seems, of NFTs, JPEGs on Bitcoin. What does that mean? And it took over a decade for markets to even catch up to this thought of that happening. But that speaks to the broader scope of this video, why I think Bitcoin has probably the best opportunity in terms of gains going into this next cycle. And it's not Bitcoin in particular, it's not Bitcoin price in particular, it's exposure to the Bitcoin ecosystem. And my excitement in terms of Bitcoin and just crypto opportunity for this next cycle has leveled up big time in recent months. And I want to break it down for you in this video. This is early. I think this is early. I want to explain why. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and let's jump into it. Many of you know I cover Bitcoin technical analysis all the time. This is a Bitcoin chart. I mention sometimes that the reason I do this is more so because this offers a roadmap for just the rest of crypto cycles, the trend of crypto. Where are we going here? And are the cycles still in play? Is the consistency of these bull markets, the bear markets, the bull markets still in play? This is a roadmap, as we call it oftentimes. So that's really why I cover Bitcoin charts so much. It helps me in terms of my altcoin decisions, this chart, this Bitcoin chart. But something's happening right now with Bitcoin that is kind of leveling up my interest and my excitement to get exposure to Bitcoin. And not so much Bitcoin BTC, the coin, but Bitcoin ecosystem. And so I kind of started this video discussing Satoshi Nakamoto, right? And a supporter potentially, right? There's no absolute thing that he came out and said, but just for context, look at this. Not only was the first Bitcoin purchase ever an artist selling a JPEG to a collector for 500 BTC, but Satoshi Nakamoto even helped out by giving advice on how to do it. So all this simply says is Satoshi Nakamoto, back in the day when somebody was trying to transact a JPEG, wasn't sitting there being like, no way, that's not what Bitcoin's for. We're not doing this for pictures. This is solely for financial sovereignty and just separating from just the global financial system and detaching from that problem. He actually spoke into this, right? And this is just JPEGs. This is what's happening with Bitcoin right now. NFTs on Bitcoin, Bitcoin Ordinals. There's ordinal marketplaces, right? Listing all of this. And this is just a piece of it. There are so many different aspects of Bitcoin Web3 that are happening right now. And it's very interesting to actually look back even to an article like this in December 2022, before this really started getting traction. Build on Bitcoin, a better platform for Web3, says Lightning Contest founder. And it's kind of like Web3 on Bitcoin, even at the end of 2022, it's kind of like, well, how far could that go? But here we are, and we're in 2023. Here's a piece of an article. To date, Bitcoin has been chronically overlooked as a network for building new decentralized applications. As of late 2022, $35 billion of Ethereum's $200 billion market cap was attributed to DeFi alone. And you look at something like BRC20 tokens now on Bitcoin, the market cap is only $585 million. $585 million for... We're talking about the number one go-to blockchain, Bitcoin. Ethereum into the billions and billions and billions, right? Here's BRC20 tokens, and I don't know the exact market cap for Ethereum ERC20 tokens, but you all have seen over the years the hype around that ecosystem. This is early stage happening on BRC20 right now on Bitcoin, BRC20 tokens. And so that's one aspect of it. And from a personal experience, I just want to say there were things that I missed out on in the past. I specifically remember, and I don't know if many of you are familiar with Journey Crypto, but I remember him tweeting kind of at the earlier stage of Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? And he was kind of tweeting, he was very into it. And I was seeing it, and it was cool to see that, but he was in early stage, and the thing absolutely blew up. Now, look what's happening early stage on Bitcoin now. Bitcoin Frogs just flipped Bored Ape Yacht Club for largest 24-hour traded collection. Bored Ape Yacht Club just got flipped for 24-hour volume by a Bitcoin Ordinal project. And again, this is just pre-bull market. This is all at the beginning. Just a lot of these collections are launching, and they're just kind of building, and they're just trying to feel out the ecosystem. But that reminds me kind of, and just the tone of this reminds me of early stage when Bored Ape Yacht Clubs were kind of becoming big, right? And that's something I missed out on then. The other thing I missed out on, which I think is even more dramatic for me, because I vividly remember this in crypto, maybe you do too, was early stage Uniswap, right? Do you remember Uniswap absolutely coming out of nowhere and just exploding? I mean, here on this chart, it's like a 700, 500 some $1 million market cap, and it absolutely exploded to a $40 billion market cap. It was just out of nowhere, right? Uniswap, just this DEX where you could swap tokens on Ethereum, and it just came out of nowhere. Well, the same thing is happening right now in terms of Bitcoin. It's early stage projects, wallets, marketplaces, DeFi, a DEX just launched recently, and it reminds me, it gives me those vibes of early stage Ethereum projects and platforms and infrastructure launching. And it's happening right now, Bitcoin. And I cover crypto on this YouTube channel. I cover what kind of I'm into in terms of opportunity. I don't like to get too deep into it. I like to kind of give a broad scope of what I'm watching. I don't want to get too deep into it because, again, I just want all of you to do your own due diligence. But I feel like I personally missed a boat with some early stage opportunities in previous ecosystems, namely Ethereum. And the same type of thing is just being built right now. And platforms are just launching right now on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the #1 go-to in terms of crypto. So if this plays out, doesn't it stand to reason that something huge in this next bull market could happen on Bitcoin with all of these things? Again, this is so risky. Even myself, I have trouble trying to figure out how I'm going to balance my risk tolerance because these things are so risky. Be very careful out there, please. This is just me tracking my journey. But at the end of the day, it is extremely cool to see the absolute explosion of Web3 on Bitcoin just in previous months. And I'm talking about this even, $585 million market cap for BRC20 tokens. Months ago, this was just not even really a thought to most people in crypto. So this is happening very quickly. It's a fast-moving space. That's why I'm just every day trying to absorb it. I'm trying to get involved in it. You know, this tweet that I mentioned, this is Bitcoin Wire. This is our site, and just trying to provide value and content in terms of all of this, right? Highlighting all of these projects that are launching. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to follow along. But this is something I'm watching in relation to Bitcoin. And I wanted to bring this up because obviously Bitcoin price not really doing much right now, still consolidating. And we talk about price so much, but there's this certain level of exposure that I'm excited about getting to Bitcoin, namely Bitcoin ecosystem. And that pairs nicely with kind of my altcoin plays, right? So I'm trying to find my balance in terms of risk tolerance in this extremely risky game of crypto. And this is kind of where I am in that thought process right now. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please, everybody, hit that subscribe and like. Your support means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.